So very nice play by Hero. For quite a while it looked like ASD would get the better of him, but Hero just went for that economy, just tried to secure 2 additional bases and got the lead over his opponent, and in the end he had just a very scary army. He was able to dodge those EMPs and get off a couple of storms. In addition, with the Colossi, he dealt out so much area of effect damage to his opponent that ASD just was not able to compensate for that. He didn't have enough Medivacs as well. Medivacs obviously always a little bit vulnerable in that particular matchup against the feedback of the Templars. The second map, as I already mentioned, will be Belcher Beach. The players are about to join the lobby. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 streams available for you. Once more, we have the studio stream where Doa and Wolf are commentating, and another stream. I'm at the office right now. I'm Caldor. You can follow me on Twitter, obviously. You can follow me at Caldor, and you can follow GomTV as well, which is at GomTV. Thanks again to our sponsors, Razer, G-Skill, and Sony Ericsson. And the next match between Liquid Hero and FXO ASD is about to start. We are just now experiencing the countdown and the loading screen. So let's have a look if ASD is able to come back into that game. His opponent is none other than Liquid Hero, a player that has been able to win the DreamHack lately, took down Thorzane with 2-0 as well. And ASD, although he was able to scare Hero for a tiny little bit on the last map, has his work cut out for him. We are on Belcher Beach, and the red side, on the right side of the map, in the blue colors, we have FXO ASD, and at the left, his opponent, the player who was able to win the first map, to decide in his favor to take Antigua Shipyard, Liquid Hero. We talked a little bit about ASD and the past as well before we started the games. He has only 10 recorded games against Terran, and he won 6 of them. Therefore, has a win quota of 60%, which is a little bit less stable than Heroes, obviously, as the player from Team Liquid already played 79 matches in this matchup. FXO ASD with a 2-0 win against Guinea Pig in Code A. But Hero is definitely another caliber, and he has to find some edge over his opponent. I really like that ASD was going for that Banshee play and tried to harass his opponent with the cloak ability. And Hero's build, I actually don't know. Against a Terran player, I have to admit that I really like that most Protoss players are going for a really early robotics in order to get those observers that they need in order to deal with a Banshee play. And ASD was able to kill that many harvesters, but what I have to give credit to Hero, he already took his 3rd base at that point of time, and therefore could make up for that, because he was able to chrono boost 3 Nexi and get those probes back just in time to get a slight edge over his opponent. So the harassment of ASD was really successful, but it was not enough in order to win the game against Hero. And I'm really eager to see what the Terran player is doing on a map like that, if he's going to succeed on Belcher Beach and able to force a 3rd map, or if Hero will take this game as well. We have him once again with an early expansion, getting that Nexus at his natural expansion, and in the main base of the Terran player we see a refinery. The refinery for ASD is already getting gas. We'll probably get a second barracks fairly soon. Or is he going for that 1-1-1 play? Yes, he's going for the factory straight away. No double or triple barracks pressure against the Protoss player. And that would actually hurt Hero quite a bit as he's going for a very early expansion. And for a Protoss player, it's always a little bit risky to go for a fast expand against a Terran player if he doesn't know anything about his opponent's main base, if he doesn't know if he has some pressure play going on. But ASD now just trying to get getting a second gas as well. This definitely looks like he's going for Cloak Banshees once more. We have him on 18 SCVs against 20 probes right now. There's the cybernetics core for Hero. Will he get that robotics bay, this robotics facility a little bit faster this time? We have the starport already in the making for ASD and the tech lab as well. So the swap between the 2 buildings will take place as soon as starport is done, and then Banshees with Cloak will be one of the units that Hero has to deal with in the early stages of the game. The last time he didn't get an robotics bay, he took severe losses in terms of his economy at his probe count. Will he be able to dish that, to eliminate that in this map or in this match, or will he this time maybe lose if he actually loses the same amount of probes this time again, then Hero might be in a lot of trouble. He was in a lot of trouble last time already, but as I already mentioned, with 3 bases available and a lot of chrono boost, a lot of energy saved up, he could replenish those drone count and make up for the losses that he took. So I'm not too sure if Hero really wants to rely on that strategy again. There already we have the robotics facility, and that's quite smart because on 2 bases he won't be able to get those probes back in time in order to make up for the severe losses that he took the last game. So this time with a little bit more of a safe play, as 2 gateways, is researching the warp gate technology and is getting the robotics facility, while his opponent is now just researching cloaking field at his tech lab and is getting 2 Banshees, both of them queued up at the starport, trying to get an edge over Hero in the early stages of the game. The bunker is already in position at the natural, and that Stalker took some hits on his shields. As you can see, the commands are now being placed down by ASD, but of course the lead in the economy already for the Protoss player from Team Liquid. About 40 probes against 27 SCVs. And looking at the Banshee and the robotics facility, the cloak will hit roughly at the same time that the Banshee will be out in order to deal with that aggression. And how many Stalkers does he have so far? He has 3 of them. And there's the Banshee. At the same time we already have the Observer, and the Observer is scouting that Banshee right away. Has 2 kills so far, getting a 3rd, maybe even a 4th. 4 kills, 5 kills for that Banshee. And now he needs to get some additional Stalkers if he wants to deal with that. Because at the same time we have AXD now with the second Banshee. There's only 1 Observer available. He's getting a 2nd one though. I like that a lot. But look at ASD's control. That is quite beautiful. He's able to take down 6 probes, even though his opponent has an Observer and the Stalkers to deal with it. The expansion for ASD is being built right now, and the worker count is 32 against 39. There's the second Banshee. Where's the first one? Oh, taking down another one at the Xanaga Watchtower in the middle, and able to retreat. Those Stalkers just don't stand a chance. But the energy is about to run out for the Banshee. It retreats within the last. Take it down quite to follow. That's not able. So 42 probes against 36. Let's have a really quick look at the economy. Hero still with the lead, but one has to admit that in terms of the gas mining, his opponent is actually looking quite well, looking a lot better. We have a 2nd Thor. 1 Thor is out on the map, and we have the 2nd one being built. All that gas is now being used for some mech play. This is actually quite interesting, getting the +1 attack upgrade as well in the armory. And will Hero be able to deal with that? Actually, taking a look at the army composition of Hero, he is relying on 5 Stalkers, on 10 Stalkers, 5 Zealots. We have 89 supply against 83 right now. There's still that warp-in pylon at the bottom of the map. He didn't use that all too much just yet, but he might warp in some Zealots in the later stage of the game when there's an attack going on by ASD in order to sneak into the mineral line of his opponent and dish out some damage. We have more and more SCVs being produced as well as probes. Twilight counts, there's an additional tech for the Protoss player, researching the extended thermal lens right now and getting the 2nd Colossus, 2 Thors. Those are actually pretty damn good against Stalkers, but I am not too sure. I'm actually not too sure if he is able to get away with that. Obviously, Thors have another great ability. They can just walk down force fields. That's one thing that the Protoss player definitely needs to consider if he tries to split the army of his opponent. He's not getting too many sentries anyways. He's only relying on 2 of them right now. And 3 of them in order to place down the Guardian Shield later on. And ASD tried to hide that armory. Actually pretty sure that his opponent was not able to scout that. He has no idea about the armory, and I don't think he saw the Thors. There's 1 Raven, and the Raven was earlier on able to detect that scout and take it down with the help of those Marines. We have 3 Thors, 3 Banshees. Getting an additional double Thor and another Banshee. This is going to be really interesting, especially as Banshees are able to deal a lot of damage. Banshees are doing... Oh, one of them dies. One of the Banshees dies, being picked off by Heroes, Observer and Stalkers. He was trying to get a third base now. Banshees deal a lot of damage, and Colossi actually die a lot faster to Banshees than they die to Vikings. But of course Vikings have the bigger range and can therefore take down the Colossi a lot safer, and are not as vulnerable as Banshees to the opponent's Stalkers. So with all those Thors, he's just now trying to push out with a 2-base attack. That might prove to be successful, but waiting for the +2 attack upgrade now as well. Getting additional Vikings at the same time, and this is kind of interesting. Hero is getting a little bit aggressive right now. He's pushing out, he's getting the +1 attack upgrade, is getting charge as well, has the blink already completed, the blink ability, and is now trying to get in with one Observer. Will be able to detect those Thors, and there are first Immortals being built right now. That will have a lot against the Thors, especially without the strike cannons that could take down one Immortal with just one hit of them. But at the same time, what is ASD doing? Is he going to push out 101 army supply against 90, 148 total against 156, getting more and more, of course, relying on them. And we have a Templar archive. And I might be mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, it's still at some point Blizzard removed that, but I think it's possible again to feedback Thors. I have to admit I'm not 100% sure about that. You can tweet me about it, but I think that you can again feedback Thors, and that would obviously be really a good choice for Hero to get those Templars in order to feedback them. We'll see about that later. Let's not get too much into this right now. The Terran player is just trying to get a really scary army. He's on 178 supply, 180. He's getting Thors and more Thors, and at the same time we have the +2 attack upgrade. There's the Storm for the Templar, and I actually don't know. I don't know if it's currently possible to feedback Thors or not. I'm really sorry about that, but that's just something that you don't usually see in a Terran versus Protoss matchup. That many Thors is quite unusual, and we have Hero getting the Storm upgrade. He's getting now at the same time a lot more upgrades, +1 armor, +2 attack, and finally with 200 supply, the Terran player is moving out. Here's the Protoss army though, and he is turning around, trying to engage, trying to attack his opponent. And now we'll see in a few seconds if you are still able to feedback Thors, or if it was... Blizzard removed it at some point. I think they implemented it again, but I'm not 100% sure. There are some units in the main base, some of those Zealots just trying to take down one of the Thors, and at the same time the Stalkers blinking in, attacking the production buildings of the Terran player. And wow, ASD needs to be careful. He needs to take down his opponent with that push. There's just way too much stuff in his main base, trying to chip away at the starport. But look at that, here's the army for ASD, and that fight is going to start right now, trying to walk up that ramp. There are the first storms storming away, not feedback, so I guess it's not possible anymore to feedback the Thors. At some point it was, but he doesn't care all that much. He already has a lot of... oh, he's feedbacking them. It's still possible. Feedbacking those Thors, and with the Immortals in the mix, he should be fine, but dropping in supply nonetheless. The Thors are just really a force to reckon with right now. Oh my god, look at them. It's still on 110 supply against 78, and everything that the Protoss player had is already down. He doesn't have all too many forces left, only one High Templar, 3 Immortals, but that's not enough to deal with 8 Thors, and they take down that Nexus so darn fast. Look at that ASD just going for it, and Hero losing his expansion is down to 80 supply. Another feedback goes off, but that Thor just has way too many hit points, and there is nothing else that Hero can do right now. He's desperately trying to get more and more High Templar in order to feedback those mech units, but this does not look good for the Protoss player. The Terran is just walking into the main base, is taking all the hits that Hero dished out, and only 70 supply left for the player from Team Liquid. Another feedback goes off, but that's just not enough. Now most of those mech users don't have any energy left anyways. He's trying to pull drones. The Archons in the back are not able to deal enough damage to the Taurus upgrade with 2-0 weapon upgrades, and this is looking horrible now for Hero. He's on 27 supply. Types GG, leaves the game, and therefore we have a tight series between Hero and ASD. Wow, that was quite interesting. I have to admit that I have not seen this before. A huge amount of Thors combined with Banshees, with Cloak, a bunch of Vikings in order to take down the Colossi, and yeah, well, he just didn't care too much about those feedbacks. I was really surprised by that. I was a little bit weirded out. I mean, you realized during the game that I was not too sure if Blizzard implemented that he could feedback the Thors again or not. I was pretty sure, but not 100%. And those storms and feedbacks just weren't enough to deal with that threat. And at the same time, he already had a lot of Immortals, but it was not enough to take down that army. And yeah, Hero in for quite a surprise. I would not have thought that ASD would have been able to take him down with that army composition, but he pulled it off anyways. Mech is pretty scary once you hit that +2 attack upgrade and the 200 supply. And Hero trying to prepare for that push, but he was not able to defend against it. He tried so hard, warped in additional units, got a bunch of Immortals, got a lot of Templars as well, but it was just not enough to defeat FXO ASD. And now we have a third map coming up. The third map will be Dual Side, which is quite a small map at that. Players just now chatting away in the chat. I'm still not able to read Hangul, and even if I was, I would not be able to decipher the words. So yeah, the countdown has started, ladies and gentlemen. Hero against FXO ASD. The third map is about to start. We will be on Belcher Beach, and I guess that Hero probably didn't expect that, but ASD doing a pretty good job at impressing today. Let's have a look if he's able to take down Hero as well, or if the favorite player in this matchup is taking the third map.